pregame here. So, let's see, I can get that invocation. And Hoyt, you want to do that,
Of
please?
course.
And I think Marie's going to get that roll call. And Glenda, you down on those minutes? We are like a well-oiled machine around here. And Clintisha, how's that bill schedule looking over there?
I don't have a bottom.
What's the Palmerdale Fire District?
Hang on a minute, let's
Shalice,
see what we got.
was there a second page to the bill schedule?
This is last time.
Did you go opposite? Show me what you're talking about.
We have.
Oh,
this
never mind.
one.
I see the second column. Thank you so much. Ooh, I did not see this.
Oh,
Let me-
it looped
I
over
see
here
it.
onto
Right there.
Yeah. I
the,
can
there,
see it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
All right,
What's
so-
the Palmerdale?
Okay, where is that?
Okay, where are you at?
Second column, 5 from the end. Palmerdale Fire District.
I think that was a part of, didn't we give them 50,000, 75?
That can't be.
Hold on. I was gonna say, I thought that was one of the
That's
installments.
We're gonna look at that. Anything else? Hemp Hill's the air conditioning guys. I do know that Eric's not here, but I do know that we had all the,
AC units.
they went around and did all that jazz, there with that.
And about half of it's the region's debt service,
It's that time of the year again?
according to this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's the fire dues for the property we own, the properties we
Well,
own.
we shouldn't be billed for that.
Yeah, so what, let me see the,
We
Want me to
swap
give you-
water for fire dues
yeah,
with
let's see what
them,
we got.
think.
Or did.
Well,
Well,
we
you know that-
didn't just, it's not just water anymore, it's a whole lot, there's a whole lot of money also too, remember?
Well, yes, well, we were doing that too.
Sorry, I left my wallet out. I mean, yeah, that was part of the agreement.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the dues and water should be a wash.
It is a resolution.
Okay, so we'll, you found, you have it, the digital on this? You have the Word document of it? Because
Yes.
what we'll want to do is go ahead and prep it up with the new dates and all that jazz in there, and then we
Okay.
can pass that out
Okay,
for approval.
So, leave it just like it is, but put the 2025 on there? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
I don't know. Marie, I may have to get with you on those numbers, though, about the amount received.
I'm gonna let you have, so you can be going through them, and then I'll finish entering them.
This is the ballpark, isn't
which one?
it? This one down here,
75.
Thought yeah, isn't that the ballpark? Yeah.
Is it my eyes or we need more ink?
No, it looks right. Must be you tonight.
Chief, I know it's not your expertise on here, but apparently the ladies sent a bill to the city for the fire dues on a bunch of stuff that we probably weren't doing anymore, quite frankly. And part of it is, looks like just a bunch of blank properties that we own, so they probably picked it up off the system. And then it's also got down here for like the ballpark and all that sort of jazz.
That's probably the only mistake is the ballpark.
What's the one of it, no, that's the house.
That's the house, which was
Okay.
not part of it. Turkey Crate was not part, the soccer park was not part, but that one, we can leave it as is and then adjust before we, or confirm before we submit if you'd like to.
Well, yeah,
They sent an email about it, that we hadn't paid these.
Yeah, well, they may be thinking that they don't, but we have an agreement that we don't have to pay them. So that's the reason why I need
No,
to
no, no,
make sure.
just on the, it would be just on the ballpark.
We rolled all those together there when we did that other thing. That's the same deal that I got with them on Center Point. So we got tired of all that nickel and dime business. We said, we gotta get rid of all this stuff,
There's a newer
so.
agreement than you know
Yeah,
about that I
yeah.
know. Okay.
It's called the $75,000
Okay,
plan, so.
yeah, that's a newer agreement that
So,
that you have, so, okay.
Anything else you wanna know?
I'm sure
We'll
that-
send that back with Chief Archer.
So, yes, you know how we're doing the additional funding and everything now, you got a lot more money. So basically, we got tired, everybody got tired of all the nickel and diming, okay? And so we had the same issue with the Center Point folks, and we said, look, we wanna get rid of all this, we don't like all these little bills coming around out here on the thing, we're just gonna give y'all one nice lump sum, and we stop having all these little bitty ones. And everybody said, yeah, that'd be good. And so this is a boatload of those little bitty ones there, basically.
So we can just withdraw that whole
What's the
bill
PACC?
according to.
I would like to until I at least reconfer with the
Okay,
fire
that's fine.
board to make sure we're on the same page.
What's that? Is that 8,000 for him? Or
Okay.
for which kind? I need to see the paper.
If I remember right, that came up last year.
May have, but then again, yeah.
That's fine.
So we leave it on
AC.
there?
AC service, yeah. They be fees.
No, my recommendation is we pull it off, because like I say, I don't think we
Okay.
owe these anymore.
Okay. To do.
We can just approve the amount minus that 1667.31.
I think so. Heather,
What's the-
so on the bill schedule, there is an amount on here from the Palmerdale Fire District that, we actually don't need to have to pay those anymore, because that was part of the agreement when we gave them the large check, that we would stop paying all these, small dues.
One corner is the PLCC, the model of PLCC.
Well, they didn't get payment because we don't owe them anymore. Okay. So if we can, is there anything else on the schedule before we do the?
We got the remodel of the PHCC, which is four corner, contractors, that's 38,000. The M&M service, which is 10,000, is for that ditch beside the fire and the
Correct.
storm shelter.
That's a progress billing, yes, progress
Yeah.
billing on the, ditch.
And
ditch
then
work up there.
hemp services, of course, we said is the AC, that's for the
Yes.
AC repairs. And I was looking at the rest of these.
And that ditch could be miscellaneous road unless you have some other, and she's
She's
already
doing
got that. Okay.
Yep.
That's a perfect use for that.
Board and benefit is the audit report.
What they were-
EMA apparently has asked for their.
And the 34,000 for Borland Benefield, that's the audit.
Audit, that's right. There was one other one down here that I wanted to.
Was it the EMA, that's 13,000?
No, that one didn't bother. It's oh, that's right. The Four Corners Contractors, that's the, all the work we did.
Yeah,
at
that's the
PHCC.
remodel.
Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, yes, only the M&M is miscellaneous road.
That's right.
I'm sorry, not Four Corners.
Thank you.
I want to see that Stone and Sons bill to make sure we hadn't gotten, let's see which one it is. This, I wanted to, this should go to,
Aldott.
Aldott.
All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So pull this, we're gonna pull the Stone and Sons out also.
So that was- So we're pulling this one and
Let me
pulling,
see the second one. Let's see. Yeah. So this basically was the repairs of the Rudd School intersection and the Main Street
Correct, yeah,
intersection, which
those
again
are
are
Aldott.
Aldott
That's Aldott.
expenses. They had to bring in Stone and Sons rather than their
Yeah.
in-house service because of the nature of the problem and the being on the week. That was when we had both red and green simultaneously in the same direction. So I appreciate them getting someone out there, but that was approved by the,
That's Aldott, right,
yeah,
all the
their
way.
thing, so I'm not sure why they sent the bill to us, but.
Okay, so we're gonna take both of those off.
So if you can redo the math on that, by the time you do the presentation, I think we'll actually be correct.
All right.
All right, I got two lists over here. So next is, I'll talk about the splash pad. It opens this weekend, so I'll talk about the hours of when the splash pad's gonna be open. The park and rec director search, I'll give you a little update on that right there. We have a new person that's gonna be coming on board for that job. They've accepted the position, and hopefully they'll be starting here in the next couple of weeks. They're on it. Perhaps by the next meeting, we can actually have her here, it's a lady, have her come and actually get to meet you guys and everything on that, so. I want to add in something next here to mention about John receiving the 20-year service award, and make sure we talk about that. I thought that would be good to mention that before the ALM report. And during the ALM report, I'd like to open it up for all you guys just to basically talk about anything you want to about anything you might have learned or want to say about what we covered last week while we were up in Huntsville. I'll say a few words about the Leslie Chow today, getting to go up there for that and presenting that to her. I'll just say a few things about that too. We don't have any old business that we were aware of. The next thing is something, Marie is typing it up right now, but basically we have learned that we should be doing an annual transportation plan with regard to the Rebuild Alabama Act. And so basically what my proposal would be is that we continue with the exact same plan that we instituted 2 years ago, which was the, let's see here. Basically, we're looking, let's see here. Here it is right here, number 3. It says, as city has previously resolved, the city council continues to plan to use funds for paving and construction of industrial roadways in the Highway 79 corridor. We have not yet commenced any particular roadway. Well, actually, we have
actually,
now,
y'all
so
did,
we're gonna strike that part. We'll clean this language up here in a few minutes to make it, because we have used these funds since
Some of them.
2 years
right,
ago,
yeah.
right? So my
That was our
recommendation.
original intent, so
That's
I'm
correct.
fine with that.
Okay, so, will you offer the new
Sure.
version when we get it?
Sure.
Get it up? Okay. So, it's something that we need to do, and unless somebody wanted us to use another area, this would actually tie in well to continue actually with that
Yeah,
project.
we've got culvert and some other things to look at.
Correct.
In that area, so that sounds great to me.
All right, so, let's see, I'm gonna put down there.
That's the 10-cent tax on our bill schedule.
That is correct.
Okay.
Sure is. And once we clean that up, I'll get you guys a
That's
copy of
fine.
it. But it's basically, and I can pass this around, it's basically gonna be about the same language as
Correct,
the one
just a
last time.
yearly intent.
Next is the BRIMS grant request, and actually, I don't know that we need to do this during the meeting. Richard, can you, will you just, so we got plenty of time here, you come up and, I thought it was great, we got an in-house expert here. He could actually tell us what BRIMS is and the reason why they might be asking us for $1,341.
Okay, basically, BRIM is the Birmingham Regional.
Hang on just a second, chief. Well, I tried pushing and it wouldn't let me.
And put the amount.
Eric usually hits it, but he's
Thank you, I'm
been
sorry.
disposed.
It had
That's in
October
the
9,
email.
so unless we're going on there.
Yeah, there we go.
I chose to do
If I pay attention and
Well,
look,
I really want to be including now.
What did the original one say?
It said October.
Yeah,
Put it back on October.
let's do that.
On there, so that matches their,
Let's do that. For the state's physical year rather than ours, so. And then we noticed some stuff down here that, this part, we have expended.
It's 76. I got it.
Yeah,
I have it.
yeah.
yeah, you can take out that sentence.
Okay.
Yep. That's good right there.
Or you could say the city has used, either. that
We
would be
have
better.
this number, and Heather maybe will give it to us about how much
Yeah.
that we
To these ones.
earn, because they actually have that somewhere around there for the actual number.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The number for the rebuild.
So,
What you got?
Okay.
Chief, sorry.
No problem. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. BRIMS is the Birmingham Regional Emergency Medical Services System. Basic-
We will be tested on that, I assume.
Yes,
Spelling-
after the meeting. What they do is, they're in charge of the trauma system, the stroke system, being sure that patients get routed to the correct hospitals. They also help in education with the fire departments as far as ACLS, PTLS, and all the other scheduled classes that people need to upkeep their license. They have access to put them on. And they also help with the Emergency Vehicles Operations course. So, because when you put one of those on, you have to go through BRIMS to do it.
Okay.
So,
So basically, these guys are like a, they're not the EMA, because these guys are specific to transport and EMS services.
EMS, yes, that is
Which
correct.
require, y'all have got certain drugs, and y'all are electrocuting
Right.
people and all that
They
fun
go-
stuff, which is kind of,
they
very
go,
medical.
right, they go a long way of dealing with the state medical board,
Okay.
trying to be sure that protocols are updated properly, and that we know what the protocols are, and they'll put on classes for that also, so that we know that we're treating the patients correctly with the new updates.
Excellent, excellent. No,
That's a great source, having been through some of their courses, I can attest.
Okay. So, anyway, last year it was about $75 less than this, so it's a nominal increase, probably just an inflation adjustment. But is there someone who would like to offer?
I'll take it.
We gave you the last one.
Oh, okay, whichever, well, we're a man short, so whatever y'all wanna do,
Let's see,
okay.
would anyone else like to, or, like I say, I didn't know.
No, I think Hartford is great.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna give you a back-to-back there.
Y'all can take some of the others.
All right, so, okay, next is something here that, and is Bob still here? Okay. Ask him if he'll come in on the thing right quick. So, as you know, we're doing the work up at the Palmerdale Community Center / the fire, Palmerdale Fire Station 1 drainage abutment, not abutment, but drainage rehabilitation project, I guess is a nice way to put it. And Eric has been in contact with them. They've been having some discussions, and Bob, Chris, and myself, we went down there earlier today for a on-site inspection up close, and the contractor has asked for a change order for a couple of different things, and so one of them was actual increase in scope. I have a proposal for that, but the other part is actually, when we got in there, we knew this all along, it was so thick, we didn't know what we would see until we got up, till the guy started clearing it out. He's made a major clearing. Bob, being my expert ditch and waterman, I brought him in, and so anyway, I'll let Bob explain a little bit about what they're actually seeing up there and why this makes some sense.
Certainly not a tree expert, so I don't know what kind these are, but they're growing along the banks. They have a tremendous root system. I do believe that I viewed one that is in this group where this intersection behind the fire department and the other part gather at 6 different trunks that have sprung up. And then I could follow one of the roots that was probably a good 4 to 8 inch diameter root that run along until another tree popped up out of this root. So what I'm thinking he's running into is that we have a root system that's probably more prominent than the dirt around it. And he's wanting to try to remove them, and some of those it will be absolutely necessary to remove, but they're going to be troublesome. The main big one, I've kind of thought we may have to leave the root in place because of the structures around it there. But they're going to be substantially difficult to remove. And a couple of the bigger trees, if we want those root stumps removed out of the parking area, they're going to require a large piece of equipment to dig somewhat of substantial hole just to pull the root out of the ground and haul off the stump. The other thing is, I think that while we're in there and we got this situation, if we were to straighten the flow of the branch out a little bit and widen it about 1 foot to 1.25 feet, I will say that's to the east. It's going to allow for future and better drainage. And also, if we need to go back and rip-rap it, it will be set up to be done rather than go back and pinch back the sides in order to make a place for a rip-rap.
So, again, I knew you guys were probably all into ditch construction and everything, but I mean, there is a root structure. He didn't say it, but that one there is 20 feet at least. And basically what it looks like the trees have done is they've tried to grow, kind of like if you're out west or something, you'll see a river and then there'll always be all these trees, growing beside the river and then nothing else. It's doing that up there because that water was there. And so they basically grew along that line. And the equipment that he has is not large enough to be able to pull all that
No.
stuff out of the
I
ground.
mean, we're used to seeing oak trees and pine trees fall over, and an oak tree may have a 20-foot bulb to the bottom of it. I don't think this one would create a bulb. These trees, again, they've got branches of roots that are running off substantially, and I'm even concerned about where that will go. Some of those that are in the creek area that are not six base may come out a little easier, and we have one up near the road that is 2 that is right in the middle of the ditch that's got to be removed. So there may be that 1 or 2 of them just have to be ground down or cut down real low to the ground and left.
Yeah, especially where we have utilities buried.
Yeah. But him digging around the others is a good way to get those out, because then maybe he can cut off the extensions and remove what needs to be removed and leave the other for future problems.
All right, so what, the change order that he's asking for, which is down on here, is for $14,000, I believe that, yes. And so we asked him, we said, okay, what was the percentage? And so the other part of the change is that along the back of the fire department, so it's perpendicular to the ditch, there was a very large, like basically the same type thing growing back there, separating the parking lot area and the back of the fire station. And so the chief had asked about being able to get that cleared out, because they have some ideas and plans they'd like to do. Plus, I don't want to see that root system going and growing underneath the fire station. It'd be a big problem. So they've asked to also have that removed. And my recommendation would be is that we have that discretionary fund for the fire department stuff, and that we pay half of this, so $7,000 would come out of the fire discretionary fund, and then the other $7,000 would need to come out of our regular operations, because like I say, it's.
Well, I see what you mean. Yeah, that wouldn't apply. Well, it could.
Yeah, it could.
It was
What he's
drainage.
wanting to
Miss Lane's
do
Road.
is there's one called a termite you see behind these prumming trucks and stuff that looks like an overgrown lawnmower. And I'm not up to date on the numbers now. And then there's one that's just a little bit larger. It's gonna take a dump truck or something to haul it. What he's talking about getting in is gonna have to be a tractor trailer truck
Correct.
size, one you would really see on a construction site to,
Well, we certainly
probably.
need to protect the asset of the fire station, the storm shelter, and all those pipes and systems underground.
So I've been in touch with I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier meeting, but with the Jefferson County Roads and Transportation folks, and they have agreed to come back and clean out the pipe where we're doing all this. It's a pretty long pipe that runs all the way down in front of the PHCC. They're gonna clean all that out, and then we're gonna see, Bob believes it's large enough, it's a 24-inch to handle the water flow. But if it's not, then they would be looking at putting in a larger pipe or a second pipe in order to be able to clear the water out of there. So that, again, we're trying to alleviate the fact that the fire station floods in heavy rains.
Yeah, and I don't think it's flooding because it can't get through that pipe. It's flooded because we have now, the ditch is 40 to 70% blocked with trees and silt, and he dug out muck, is what he called it, and I can't call it anything else, the old black swamp. And
It's
there's a
kinda
lot
bog.
of that
It's
in the
kinda like a
bottom of
bog
it.
down
Yeah.
in there.
So I think once it's cleaned out, that pipe's been in there a long time. I don't think we've substantially added to the water flow in the area, and it handled it before. I just think we're not letting it get to it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's been brought to us and recommended there on that. Is there someone that would be willing to put that forward?
I'll do it.
Thanks, Bob. All right, next is the candidate qualifying fee discussion. So basically, Marie brought to my attention here that it's not, I don't believe it has to be done at this meeting, but we definitely want to at least be able to have some discussion. But if y'all see in your packet, ordinance setting qualifying fees, if y'all would like to change this is basically a restating of the current ordinance, and I'm not sure that we actually have to have a new one if you guys don't want to change it. But if this is the amount that someone, if they want to run for office, this is the amount they have to pay in order to actually get on the ballot. So we can set the fees, they must be reasonable, for this. And if the council wants to change the fee, this would be the time for us to take action. I had them look, the fee amounts that we have are still in line with what cities of our size are. So,
I think
But-
we leave it same.
If we're in line, I would agree.
that was kind of my thinking. I mean, there are some that are very high, but these are like in, the city of Mobile and, these very large cities where they might get a lot of folks in there. But cities our size, and we looked at the ones in our area, they're right in the same wheelhouse. So if you guys are good, then we will,
What was that?
50 and 30.
yeah, 50 for mayor's office and 30 for council. So I'll double check with Marie, but I don't think we would have to take action.
I think
think
it's
the other one-
worded unless,
We change it.
Based on the current one, the way it's written, there is no action, because it just says every
Yeah.
election after this
after the date.
adoption.
I agree with
So-
you.
Okay.
So we don't have to take any action on it?
I don't think so. I'll find out from her and make sure that the other
Alright.
one, everything was cool, but. Next is the PVHS band request down here. So, on this, you guys should have a copy of this, and unfortunately, now former
That's
Band
correct.
Boosters president
Correct.
happens to be among in our presence tonight, and so, Hoyt, if you'd like to talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yes,
And I can speak to the music aspect
Okay.
thing, but if you want to talk about the instruments. and
Oh,
everything.
okay, yes. As to so you know about the commission fees.
Okay.
Not to take anything away from any other group, but as y'all know probably, if you attend a football game or something, the marching band with all of the participants is about 140 students yearly. It impacts that many students, not counting Rudd. In any case, we have we always lose seniors. We have a matching group, I think, coming up from Rudd, so we'll be similar next year. But one of the needs is a sousaphone. And
Now, what exactly is a sousaphone for those that don't know
well,
what that
I would
is?
have to have them Google a picture, but that is essentially a tuba that wraps around and has the bell.
So what most of us folks would just say is the tubas in the band is in reality not a tuba, but is technically a sousaphone.
Well,
right?
there's several different kinds. There are shoulder tubas that some groups use, that we used back in the dark ages when we were in band. Most bands though now use the full sousaphone. Quite frankly, I think they're easier to carry and manage than one arm, but
And they look real cool when the
Yes.
band's doing their moves and stuff.
As y'all know, the Band Boosters raises and spends thousands of dollars every year for the improvement of the band. In fact, one project that we often do, you can have tuba bells reformed and re-lacquered, and we do that as much as we possibly can. But we are looking to have potentially 8 players. We have, as I understood it, I think you had the same conversation. We have 3 sousaphone players coming up from Rudd, which would give us 8 on the line. And that is exactly, I think, the number of instruments we have. The lead time on this is several months. It would probably not be here till even after marching season, but the band director and I concurred, it'd be great to go ahead and get one in the pipeline. So
So
that's.
we're one bent bell away from being down to man.
Correct. And the boosters and even Mr. Brandenburg with some of his school funds have repaired and refurbished tubas, but we are gonna be borderline on the number, and that's a great problem as a ex-tuba player. That is, well, I don't mean that in any disrespect to the other
You don't have any
instrumentalists,
photographic evidence of your tuba days?
but- Well, I'd have to pull some yearbooks. There are some video VHS tapes floating around, if we could find a VHS player, if any, y'all remember those. But in any case, the band director and I concurred, feels like it'd be a great idea if we could, get one in the pipeline. And did you want to speak to the music?
So, yeah, let's say a little
request
bit about,
and
on
the
this.
growth of our mariachi, and you attended the concert. I
Yes.
think I had a conflict that night.
So, the mariachi, I got to attend the mariachi concert here a couple of weeks ago. Again, we had the community concert, which was, not the full band, orchestra band, not the, and not the mariachi. We've got such an impressive music department up there. We've just got all kinds of things.
We do.
This was specifically the mariachi only. It was both the beginner and the advanced mariachi bands, but the concert was fantastic. Mr. Brandenburg talked about the fact, and this is important because, and I may repeat this in the meeting, the Pinson Valley has the first mariachi band program in the state of Alabama. And so it has been so successful that a few other high schools have now implemented the mariachi program at their schools. So they've called and gotten with him, and they're starting to put that together. They would like to have a piece commissioned, an actual musical piece to be commissioned for their mariachi band that is going to be unique. It's never been done before. What it would allow them to do is they want a piece commissioned that specifically would be for the mariachi section and the regular band together. And they think this would be a great blending of these two groups, and will help, get more publicity for what's going on and everything. And again, this hasn't been done anywhere in the United States. So they've talked to an artist about potentially having that done, and they've asked us about helping to pay for the commissioning of this musical piece.
And 2 points, the mariachi band is not limited, it is, the participants are all students. It's not, as you saw from the concert, the mariachi band is all.
Oh, yeah, it's a,
All student participants in that. And the last note is, as Robbie said, this is sort of cutting edge. Assuming this takes off or is used by someone else, it would read commissioned by PVHS and the Pinson City Council. So that would be a remarkable advertisement for us in years to come.
he told us that this mariachi band is constantly being booked.
Correct.
When I heard them, I was like, and I think they may have some video on this thing. The advanced band they have costumes and the big sombreros, and the ladies have got these nice
Correct.
things on and everything. And I'm like, this is incredible. And he said they are constantly getting requests for people to come and play at various events. So it's been fantastic publicity, and the kids enjoy getting to do it. So, hey, it's a big thing, and it is a wide selection of the students. It's across the full spectrum of the student body
That was
is
my point.
involved
Yes,
in
it is
this.
not limited.
It's not just the Hispanic heritage folks that are enjoying playing in this. This is,
Exactly.
everybody is participating, and so, again, it's music, and, hey, I've always kind of liked mariachi music, so, I mean, I'm up there hearing it, and I was like, this is great. And when they came out in full costume with the big sombreros and everything else, they had the big guitars and everything like you see, it's
And
a
they
lot of
performed
fun.
at the library, some library functions,
They
I
have,
believe.
they sure
so.
have.
I think that's great.
So anyway, that's the full story on that. Would someone like to put that forward? If I can find my notes.
Nobody wants to. Connie will do it, I'll do it.
Is that
The
5,000?
band.
It's
Well, the total.
actually, it would be,
Almost 13.
Okay.
let's see, it would be, well, about 12.
You're correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it'd
a
be
little
about
under 12,000 there,
Okay.
John. We'll get you the exact amount there for the thing, so. All right, John is the mariachi. There is another one that I'd like to add on here. Marie can, oh, she left again here. I need to get you guys a
We have
copy.
it.
Oh, we do? Okay, good. All right, so we, I was given this request in a slightly different manner last week, that, was not something that I thought we could participate with. Today, I was presented with this version, which is something that I wanted you guys to be aware of. So, as you can see, Miss Haynes down at the high school, she is the business education teacher. I spoke with her this afternoon. She is been invited to go to this educator conference. We also have a student who is one in the area and would be allowed to participate in this conference. The student is, they're working on getting them a scholarship, actually through some business associations. This is specifically for her, the teacher herself, to be able to attend this particular conference. She, the cost of the conference is about $4,000. I know that this could potentially create issues for us as far as everybody wanting to come in and ask, you know, for help with these things, but my recommendation is she is this section of the school up there is very important. She's very valuable. Her intention is to return back to the school again next academic year. Is that we would help her, and the amount that I would recommend is to give her $1,000 toward this. But I'm open, I told her I would present it to you guys and see what y'all were thinking.
Is the
Are we
board or the
giving it-
school able to help? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, are we giving it to the school? Cause giving it to her,
Yeah, it's not to her, no, it'd go to the school.
okay.
Or straight to a fee or?
Right,
Okay. Does the board or the school helping with the other
She,
portion? or do
I
we know?
believe so, based on the information that I got, that she had some other funding sources that were actually being able to help out with the other.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And well, I guess if it's going to the school, do we have any stipulation if she does not return to the school?
We do not.
Okay.
We do not. But I did specifically ask that question, because
That's
I
a good
told her, I said, listen, I said, you realize how much trouble I'd be in with this council if we let you go to this, and then I suddenly find you're at one of our friendly neighborhood schools that's not Pinson? She laughed and she said, oh, no, I understand. So I have been told by those in charge that they definitely are hoping that she has, and she told me, she said her intention was to return to Pinson Valley, and she, if she did not, it would not be her choice. So there's no reason to believe she would not be back. But was anybody want to put that out?
Can we wait till the next meeting? to
I
vote on it?
wondered that, I believe.
Cause our meeting is on the 5th and the conference is on the 16th, so she would have at least 2 weeks.
It is, but I believe, is Marie back there? Because she talked to her also. Hang on one second, let me ask her. I think so.
It's, if you take your school request, right here. No, it's 6,000 and 5,000. You're
I
off
did
on your math.
ask that same question.
Or not off,
Heard
off.
of.
Okay.
She spoke with her too.
So it'd be,
Almost 12.
yeah, almost, you might say plus. or
So
minus
I've asked Marie
12,000.
to come in and speak about this.
You just say approximately 12, be fine.
So Marie, the question was, is on the, for the professional development for the business education teacher, about whether or not we could delay and look at giving her a grant at the next meeting based on the dates that were on here, and I know you spoke to her about the dates.
Yeah, she came by today and said that she needed to, like, tomorrow's the deadline. I'm not sure if it's the deadline for registration or what her deadline is, but she needed to know something.
So I think the actual fee for the conference is somewhere around $800, kind of similar to like the ones that we go to. So basically, a substantial amount of our money would actually be the conference fee itself there on that thing, so. But it's, you guys call, like I say.
I'm okay with it, let's go ahead and do it.
Did you have a concern, Quintisha, or just,
Semi, but I mean, I can still move forward.
okay?
I can still move forward.
Like I say, I don't think this is something that we can do all the time. We're kind of a little bit at the end of the year. We do, I did not mention this earlier, we do still have funds left in the discretionary spending for the schools this year, which would be more than enough to cover the band request and this $1,000 on the other, so we'd still be
Or I was
under
even gonna
budget.
say, I thought you kinda asked my question, I was gonna say if I'm gonna make up a number. If the conference is 865, we could actually make our check straight to them.
Oh, that's a
if we needed
possibility
to.
too. I don't know, though, they may
I
take
just made
credit
that up.
card or something
Well,
there on
just,
the
yeah,
front.
whatever, but
I think my only concern would be, are we opening the door to do it for everybody? Because every teacher could use more training, so that's the main thing I would wanna think through. And then in the off chance that she is not, or does not come back to the school, and though she is saying not on her own will now, but that could change between now and the beginning of school, then we would have, as a city, given somebody something for their own private good, not for a
well, that
public.
could be part of the motion, is that she repay it if she doesn't return for next year.
Oh, I'm cool
That
with
could absolutely be part of the motion.
Well, I think it needs to be a part, just so that we're not running into, we
Absolutely.
have
I
helped
don't
somebody,
object to
you
that.
know,
No, that was-
professionally, and then.
That's why I
yeah.
asked that question, because I had the exact same
Yeah,
concern.
that,
So,
that could be absolutely a stipulation in the motion.
Yeah.
do you want to do it with, under that
Do we
condition?
wanna do this in knowing that we have all teachers that need help? Let's think this, we're gonna set a precedent.
Well,
So
and
that means
that is
everybody
my-
could come and ask us
But
for money.
she's like a business teacher, so I think this is a different type training than some of the other teachers might get, but I'm not positive of that.
Well, and you're right, like the band directors, the boosters funded to go to, we have to fund them to go to conferences and things, so you're not wrong in that.
Well, my point, regardless of the type of teacher, every teacher could come in here and say they're benefiting the schools in our city.
Right.
So therefore, the request would be a legitimate request. And so I just think I'm kind of leery of saying we'll give it to one, and then another teacher comes right behind and we say, oh, no, we're not gonna do that. So that's my only hesitation.
She's correct.
You're not wrong,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
I actually even told her that, there on the, like I say. But again, I knew that we had this, and I wanted to at least put it forward, but that's, you guys call. Like I said.
Especially at the high school, I think we need to do what we can to, make positive progress up there, so, I'm good with it if y'all agree.
I'm good with
But
it.
you're right, we may have to keep the reins pulled
Yeah.
very close on this type of request.
We'll do it, but it's a one-time shot, deal or something on that. Okay, so,
Has any teacher ever has come to us before and asked?
And PD, I don't think so.
yeah,
Not that
professional
I'm
development,
aware of.
I don't think so.
I don't remember anything, not since I've been here.
Now, I think the schools, of course, that's certainly been within their authority to hold a course or with some of our money through the years. I think that's occurred. The principals have hosted classes or things like that, if I recall correctly. But
Right.
I don't think we've had an individual request exactly like this. But I'm good with the will of council on
Whatever
that.
y'all, yeah.
Well, if somebody will put it on the floor, we'll see how the vote goes, so, on
I'll put it out, and I'll
Okay,
just put
okay.
the stipulation if she does not
I think
return to
that's a
the
good
school,
idea.
it has to be repaid.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that.
That,
still
I
working
believe,
on it
was
to set.
everything,
Yeah.
and so we will be getting the, we're getting the numbers together. Oh, goodness, I think
Yeah,
we're
we're
actually supposed to
tired.
start. So, let's take just a few minutes here to try to clean that up, and then we'll start just a couple
Okay.
minutes late.
And, yeah, we'll,
I have to have a reimbursement added, so the new amount is gonna be $355,983.45.
say that again, 365,
No, 355, 983,
355,
983, 45 cents.
45. Thank you.
You're welcome. And it's I added my reimbursement from the conference.
Okay, that's
From
good.
our-
That's cool. Okay, give us just a minute here to
Yeah.
go in there and clean that, and then we will have you guys if anybody wants to look over this old version, they can, but we'll have that in just
Okay.
a second here, so. And City Council, please rise for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, we thank you for this day again, and we just thank you so much for the opportunity to be servants here in Pinson. We just ask that you would give us wisdom this evening, that we would understand how to do the people's business. Father, we thank you again for our teachers and the work that they've done up at the schools. We're very excited about the graduation that just took place yesterday and for the exciting things that have been going on up there. Again, continue to protect our first responders as they go about doing their operations and the business that they do about being able to protect and help us. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Join me for the invocation. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
I meant pledge, y'all knew what I meant.
Oh, yeah. All right. Madam Clerk has stepped out to help us out with a few things here, but
Let's just let the record reflect all were present except for Counselor Walker,
I think that's good. Is everybody good with that?
Yep.
and we can,
Move on to the approval of the minutes.
Yes, I would like to offer a motion to approve and waive the reading of the minutes for May 17th as written.
second.
This, it was May
That's wrong.
first. May
yeah.
1st. I believe that's a
thought they
typo
had
there
wrong
on the thing
date,
right there.
You're sure right.
Okay.
but I wasn't sure.
So you recommend for the May 1st meeting?
May
correct?
1st.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. I'm gonna make a few, I gotta make a few notes over here to help our
I'll
clerk.
catch it, Mayor.
You got it?
I-
Okay,
I'll
great.
catch it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here. Was there any discussion or anything concerning those minutes?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor of approving them, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And so those minutes are now approved. Oh, let's see here. Next is going to be the payment of the bills. I know we did a little modifying of that bill schedule back during the pre-council, so.
Yes, so for pre-council, if you did not take note, we are removing Stone and Sons, which is $8,649.60. We're also removing Palmerdale Fire District for $1,667.31. And we're adding a reimbursement for $1,232.24. And I would like to offer a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $355,983.45.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. So, was there any other discussion beyond what we did? Again, like I say, we mentioned in the pre-council there, we've got some larger items there, including our,
General obligation.
well, that was the really biggie right there. I
Yeah,
guess I
that's
should
about
point that
halfway.
out. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the warrants that we have that, for the financing of most of the facilities around here. So we have two during the year, but this is the real big one, that came out, and that's, $177,500. So that's a pretty big chunk there. We also had some stuff there with EMA dues were also due this time. We had the expenses from the work that we had done up at the PHCC, where we've had the repainting and the cleanup and roof repairs and stuff. And then also the
audit.
ditch. Yes, the audit, that was it. The Boylan Benefield guys at the audit, $34,550. And then a partial payment there for the work that's ongoing up there with the flood mitigation up at the fire department's Station 1, so Fire District's, Palmerdale Fire District Station 1. All in favor, if there's no other discussion, all in favor of approving those bills, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And so the motion is approved. We will pay those bills. All right, so I've got a few updates here. One is about the splash pad. Had some folks have already asked. They've had the splash pad running earlier this week while we've been doing some testing, and they've been having to run the chemicals and things through it. We've had several people come up and seen it, and they're like, oh, it's already open. we told them, we said, no, don't even think about it. It's got heavy chemical, heavy chemical action going on right now. Don't go into the water. But that will be complete, and so the splash pad will actually open officially on Saturday. These will be the hours of the splash pad for the summer, and I'm not sure what day we're going to close yet, but we will be opening this weekend. It will be open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 6, and then on Sundays from 12 to 6, so just open an hour later on Sundays. It will normally be closed on Mondays. That's going to be the day that they'll be doing the cleanup and all, and we have to do some water changes and that sort of thing. So this year, we're going to be closed on Mondays. However, not this Monday, since it is a holiday. We're going to be open for Memorial Day, and it will be open from 11 to 6 this week. So again, basically 11 to 6, except on Sundays. Don't show up on Monday except for this week. Next is the Park and Rec Director search. I know that Mr. Terry's been doing a great job as our interim Park and Rec Director, but we are in the process of bringing on a new person. I will introduce them at the next meeting, but they should be getting started here in the next couple of weeks. And so we're really excited about them coming on board. And Mr. Terry will be here. I'm sure it's someone that he has spoken with on numerous occasions. So I think the citizens are going to be really excited about this person, the things that they've got in mind for the park. They have a lot of experience, a lot of education. You'll be very, very excited, I think, when you learn more about this person. So anyway, I just want to let you guys know that was fixing to happen. Next, I want to talk a little bit about what happened last week up in Huntsville, and I want to start out by first recognizing Mr. Churchwell, who was recognized up there practically along with the governor, I believe, for longevity of service in the as an elected official. John, how many folks was it? I think only 35 people were recognized, I believe was the total number for the whole state of Alabama. Only 35 people. John was one of the 35, and he was recognized for 20 years of service. So yes, they presented John. I don't know. Hold that up there. They actually gave him a very nice.
You can hold it up.
Okay. It looks like he graduated from college or something. Did it jump out? On there? That is a family heirloom now, so we have to. Well, that is just like college. Very nice presentation that they gave there to him. We'll let him hold it up there. Thing right there. Very nice presentation there that John. For being recognized for his 20-year service. So again, we appreciate John. And there was one individual who received a 40-year service, and I thought, wow, that is a really long time. And shortly after the ceremony, I told John, I said, John, this is great. You are halfway to your 40-year pin.
Yeah.
So anyway, John,
You can do
again,
it,
we
John.
want to thank you for your service on all that, and congratulations on the recognition up there last week. Moving on to the rest of the Alabama League of Municipalities, I'd like for you guys to join in and have any comments. I know we got to go to several trainings, got to network with some folks, got to see several different things up there. It's always a really great time listening to a lot of the latest legal changes, other things that cities are facing as far as we can learn a lot of things from our counterparts in other cities. So anyway, I'll open it up to you folks. Anybody wants to talk about what all happened? I'm proud to say that everyone, which was not totally heard of, but every one of our council members and myself were all in attendance this year, which is very exciting. And actually, I had other cities, they asked me, they said, how many of your folks are here? And I told them, I said, every one of them. They said, wow, that's very impressive. And I appreciate the fact several people had to take off work and stuff to be able to go. So anyway, I'll shut up and let you guys talk.
That is case in point. Yes, the laws change slightly every year on everything from finance to property to weed and litter abatement was one of the topics. So it is always good to have that continuing education to make sure we're up on the most recent cases. And of course, sometimes either an AG opinion or an actual court case will adjust or edit the implementation of the law. So to me, it's always very informative and quite frankly crucial. And I might point out, as most people know, beginning in the fall of this year, required for those elected, which I wasn't always that way. So I feel that is a wonderful addition to the law that, quite frankly, it's no longer optional.
Right.
So, anyway.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's also kind of nice to know at our roundtable, we had various counties, and some of our issues, they occur from North Alabama all the way down to Baldwin County. So it almost sounded like you might be listening to a fellow counselor, but it could have been a city in another county having the exact same issue. And that also tells us where we need to contact legislators, be it state or federal, to advocate for municipal function. So I think it's imperative, and I always enjoy going.
Good, I think so too.
Guess I'm out then.
You did a great job.
Oh, okay.
You did a great job. I don't think there's anything else to add.
I see it.
They also do multiple sessions, so sometimes we end up in the same session, but sometimes we split up, so we were able to cover multiple territories because you can't, they're running three different seminars at the same time. Obviously, you can't be at all three places at once, so it was great we were able to split up and divide and conquer up there, so. it was a lot of
Let me
fun.
mention one thing, and I won't try to pronounce it without it spelled out in front of me, but some of y'all may be old enough to remember the bicentennial in 1976. Well,
I do.
Yeah.
it was an elementary school, but the quarter was cool. That's what I remember.
They did have those.
As most of you know, they're calling it USA 250 for next year, and you'll be seeing promotions and celebration material for the 250th
Yep.
U.S. independence that will occur in '26. So be looking for shares and feeds and things that will be coming down through the Alabama office that is going to manage our state's celebrations is actually at the Veterans Memorial down in Calera in Shelby County. So be looking for, if you see USA 250, or America 250, I believe, now that I think about it. That is what that will be referencing, and we'll be looking forward to ways that we can plug in and participate and celebrate our history.
Cool.
No, that's
I
exciting.
thought you were gonna try to say the word.
I'm not right this minute.
I don't remember it. I don't want to try to say it either because I may be having the one with the 250 and the 150 confused. I'm like, no. It'll turn into a meme.
I'll print it out and pronounce it next week.
Okay, that'll be
About
good.
that.
Get the phonetic wording on that. All right, great. So, anyone else on the conference? So we're all good. All right, now, next was, as y'all may remember, at our last meeting, we passed a resolution concerning our local educator of the year, or local educator who was recognized as Teacher of the Year Award, Miss Leslie Chatta, up at the elementary school. Leslie Chatta Day was last Monday. I got a chance to go up to the elementary school. They were doing kindergarten graduations up there. And so during one of the kindergarten graduations, we actually made the presentation of the resolution that you guys passed at the last meeting. Those kindergarten graduations are heavily attended. The kids are great. They have a music program that they do as part of it, and each one of them is recognized across the stage and all, and it's just a lot of fun. And the entire gymnasium was completely filled with parents and grandparents and all to be able to see this. So it was really nice to be able to make that presentation. The faculty had gotten wind of this, and they actually had Ms. Chatta a tiara to put on there for a little while. And she's actually the MC of the kindergarten graduation, so she really did appreciate it, and told her she was more than welcome to come down to a council meeting and give us her input on the school. She says that she's, even though she's been doing it, I think, 31 years, she said she has no plans for retirement at this time, so we're excited that
How
she'll be
about that?
continuing on. So, again, congratulations to Ms. Chata and her service there. So, let's see. Now, I believe we're ready for, on new business, Mr. Sanders, I think.
Yes, some of y'all may remember, I believe it was back in, 2019, if I would read the first line. The Rebuild Alabama Act passed, and participating governments in Alabama had to pledge the use so that money was not just absorbed in other projects. And back at the time, of course, we pledged to use that for some needs for industrial roads on the 79 corridor, and I would like to offer a resolution that confirms our continued intent for that. We will, in item 3, find the amount that we've spent. We've improved Flight Drive 2 times since the act passed, and we have some work to do now on Gilmer to further our industrial offerings down there. So we will get the amount for item 3, but I would like to offer the resolution confirming and continuing our pledge to use that for industrial roads in the 79 corridor.
Second.
Motion and a second. And Madam Clerk, Mr. Sanders has some notes there from
For the
earlier when
first
you were out
piece.
of the thing. Is there, I believe he explained that very well. Was there any questions or anything about the Rebuild Alabama? So, like I say, we'd been doing a little research and we knew we needed to redo this. So if there's not, let's see here. Let's do a roll call vote, Madam Clerk, on Resolution 2511.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Sanders?
Roberts.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay, because
Mayor
I was like,
Roberts.
Well, I
Okay.
answered, so I'm just guilty.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I have to admit, there's many times that I've actually tried to introduce Councilman
That's
Sanders as
fine.
Mayor
Mayor's,
Sanders.
yeah.
And people are like, but aren't you the mayor? And I'm like, well,
It's
yeah, but
quite
I've known him as that for years, so, it's a lot of confusion, so.
I didn't
it-
even realize I
it comes
did it.
It comes natural, so you're
As
forgiven.
did the reflex, my apologies.
Sorry.
So,
Okay.
that was passed, that is passed as Resolution 25-11, unanimously plus one, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
That's good, so thank you. Next up is Mr. Sanders, I believe on this one also from the Brims.
Correct. We're fortunate in Jefferson County to have the Birmingham Regional EMS system that coordinates primarily training, some other activities. And we are asked annually to participate on a pro rata share based on our census. If you want to call on the chief now, or he can speak to it at the end, or however you want to do it.
You spoke during the pre-council,
Oh,
but if you
that's
want to
true.
cover it again, then
Okay.
later you can, so.
Yeah, we can let him come back during public, but the request on our pro rata share is $1,341.27, and I move we approve that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. So as the chief mentioned earlier in the pre-council and all, this is vital and important. As a matter of fact, it's so good here in our area that the rest of the state has actually adopted their plan and pretty much copies them, and they're actually working in conjunction with the rest of the state, correct? So the good news is they're actually leading the pack, and so this amount is also within $75 of the amount that they requested last year. So all in favor of the BRIMS grant request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that will go ahead and move forward. Ms. Kirkland, on this, a change order, I believe.
Yes, I would like to offer a change order that was issued by M&M Mobile Truck Services, Inc., which we have a contract with presently to clean up around the fire department, the PHCC, and the change order is an amount of $14,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. So basically, as we talked about again in the pre-council, This is for the, Mr. Jones came and spoke, once they got in there and started doing the clearing, which we did anticipate, we didn't know exactly what we were gonna find, because it was, commonly we call it a jungle. It was that thick, going in between the properties there. We couldn't actually see the root systems. Now the guys have gotten in there and been clearing the trees down, and they have discovered that the root systems are quite involved, and it's gonna require larger and more sophisticated equipment than what we might have originally anticipated. So they have asked for that. And then the fire department also asked for some additional work to be done right behind the station. It's basically perpendicular to the creek, clearing out some area which is very similar, turned into a jungle, basically up on a berm and stuff there that was, not only was it unsightly, but it was also something that, if the roots were allowed to continue, could damage the plumbing system and under the building and everything else. So we felt like it's a good idea to go ahead and have that removed too. So pretty much it's about a 50-50 split. So my recommendation would be is that we take some of the allocation toward the Palmerdale Fire District Station in our budget, use that to pay 50% of this amount, and then the other amount would come from miscellaneous roads, because this is a drainage by the street problem that's going on. So, any other thoughts or comments? All right, all in favor of approving this change order with M&M Mobile Services, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So we will go ahead and let them proceed on with that work. Next, Ms. Irvin, I believe on the candidate qualifying fee ordinance.
Yes, I would like to offer ordinance setting the qualification fees for the 2025 election, and thereforward, the fee being $50 for anybody seeking mayor of the city of Pinson, and $30 for anyone seeking council member.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion and a second on that. So basically, this is, we're making sure that we have all our paperwork in order for the upcoming election, but these are, would continue the fees that are in line with other municipalities of our size and what we previously had in our fee structure here in the city of Pinson.
So there's no change.
That is correct.
Correct.
That's correct. This being an ordinance will require unanimous consent to consider, so Madam Clerk.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. That being said, any other discussion about this? If not, we'll call for a roll call vote.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Sanders?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Roberts?
Yes. So that ordinance passes as 2025-11. Let's see here. Next is a Pinson Valley High School band request. John, I believe you've got that. Pull your mic down a little bit closer there, John. Pull your mic down a little bit closer there.
Okay. That better?
Perfect.
Okay. We are donating a lot of money tonight, which is good for the people, and also it's good that we're able to do it. So, and if I can pronounce these names, we got some more to give away. But for some of this, it's two aspects of what we have already talked about is the Marirucci, and then another new phone is a sousaphone. So these two pieces of equipment will come to about $12,000, and I recommend this. We recommend that we donate this to Pinson Valley Band in Marirucci.
I like your terminology there, John. So it's, and you're right. He did say that up front. So it's Mariachi Band is basically what it is. And so, but the one piece is an instrument called the sousaphone, which we had Mr. Sanders explain to begin with the difference between a sousaphone and a tuba earlier there on that. So we can get into that a little bit more. Let's talk about the.
Need a second.
Oh,
Give me a
yes.
second.
Is there a second on this?
Second.
The band is growing, and we have several sousaphone players, 3, I believe, coming up from Rudd this upcoming year, and there is could be potentially an instrument shortage should anything happen. They continue to try to rebuild the existing sousaphones, but the problem is that these things don't last forever. So it takes several months to be able to get one. The price that's down there, I did want to mention the fact this actually comes from the Jefferson County bid list. So
Correct.
the price has already been bidded out and all on that. The other item was about the mariachi band. I did want to say this during the meeting. Again, the mariachi program at the high school is quite exciting. I got an opportunity to go to the public concert that they did a couple of weeks ago. It was well attended, and everybody had a lot of fun up there with it. But Pinson Valley has the first mariachi band program at a high school in the entire state. There's been a couple of other programs that have already found out about it, and there was a lot of excitement. They came down, met with Mr. Brandenburg, and they've started mariachi programs at their school. So his proposal is to have a piece composed specifically for our mariachi band, which would be unique in the fact that it would combine both the mariachi band and the regular band, which would allow crossover between the two. To their knowledge, this has never been done before. I'm not sure we should be broadcasting these shows because there may be bands running around the country that may say, hey, this is a great idea. But it would allow us to be able to have something unique, and the city of Pinson's name, of course, would always be affiliated with that particular tune. So they've got some ideas for this, but anyway, it would really give the kids a chance to be able to, all the members of the band to be able to promote their activities. So the mariachi band does include strings, which is not something that we normally have. So they've got those, I don't know the names of those very large backed guitars, but they are the kinds that you see going around. They're these larger guitars and all. If you get a chance to catch our mariachi program, definitely jump in and catch these folks. They're fantastic, and the what was it? They're getting requests all the time for people to be able to come and be able to play for their events. They've got to do several events. They basically are staying booked a lot. So it's great to see the kids to be able to have something that's that popular. A little bit smaller group, so it's not quite as hard as it is to have to move the entire marching band around. How many buses that we have to have for that? But anyway, the group they have costumes. It's very exciting group that they
And
do. Go ahead.
open to every student in the school. Neither band is limited to any particular person. They're both quite blended. I
They
might
are.
add. So that they're both enjoyable to hear.
It's great to see that we're a community of that's quite diverse, and that diversity shows even in a program like the mariachi, which is of course a more Hispanic-oriented type music, if you're familiar with it. You might have heard it in the background at your local Mexican restaurant on occasion, because it's a lot of fun. But everybody's involved in this, and so it's a lot of fun up there. Many of these students have never played any mariachi before, and so they pretty much learn how to play the guitar and do all the other instruments and stuff as part of that. And the beginning band actually only meets once a week, and it was amazing how nice a job that they did pretty much since January when this particular semester started. So again, that's the other part of the request there. So John, you gave us the amount, I believe. Madam Clerk, you've got that part down, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments about? Although I like John's idea, perhaps that we could invent a mariachi instrument to go along with that thing, so.
You'll come home singing it for days. It's like
Oh,
going
it's
to Disney
catchy.
with a little small world, you know.
Definitely do. All right, all in favor of the Pinson Valley High School band request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so next, Ms. Irvin, I believe we have a request about a business education professional development from the high school.
Yes, we have a request from our business education teacher from the high school. She is requesting assistance with going to the Certified 2025 Educator Conference. I would like to offer a motion to give her $1,000 with the stipulation that if she does not voluntarily return for the 2025-2026 school year, it will be repaid back to the city.
Second.
Motion and second, so, is there any discussion about this one?
That would essentially pay the tuition, as we discussed in pre-council.
Correct.
For this,
For this individual, yes. And also present at this particular event is a Pinson Valley High School student that is receiving a grant to cover their expenses to be able to go. That they won a preliminary earlier round competition, and so we'd actually will have somebody up there. This will be going on simultaneously while she's in the conference section of the thing. So it's a nice dual deal there for them. All in favor of the business education professional development request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that goes ahead and passes too. Let's see here. I will go ahead and move on now. Is there anyone in the department heads that needed to say anything? I think some of them are out in the hallways and all.
let's see, Richard covered, so if someone's listening, they could go back to the pre-council and hear about Brames.
Yes,
if
you sure
that,
could.
If you're watching online, Assistant Chief Archer covered more about Brames and pre-council, if you'd like to know more about that. Education, training?
Education, training.
Okay.
is the big part of what they do.
All right.
So, Chief, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? We've talked about a lot of large tree trunks and root structures right next to your station, but, and if you did, please come to the mic, because nobody can hear you, but,
It's good.
okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds great.
Appreciate it.
And that also protects our brand-new asset of the storm shelter on that property.
Oh, yeah.
From,
Yeah,
Not so
I'm
much the
assuming that if the
shelter.
water kept getting higher and higher, it'd be up around that thing too.
well, or
so,
again, the underground utilities to it, the plumbing and so forth, so
Yeah.
we didn't mention that earlier.
Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak? If you would, then this is your opportunity. John?
Oh, let her come up. Come on.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, if not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, that's a tie there, Madam Clerk.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get ahead of somebody.
No, all good. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are hereby adjourned at 7:40 PM.